Welcome to the Marketing Revolution podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Haley here with the Marketing Revolution podcast and the Marketing Savage Facebook group. I hope you guys are having an amazing Tactical Tuesday today. This is where we get down and dirty with some tactical techniques that you can apply in your business. Okay, guys, so here's what I want to talk about today, because it's never been more important to understand the traffic source. When we're talking about your traffic source, I'm talking about social media, the traffic that's coming to your website through any channel of social media. I'm going to throw like podcasting, YouTube, and that shit in there. It's debatable whether you want to call that social media or not, but let's talk about all areas of social media. And I want you guys to understand something, because the landscape is going to be changed in the future with social media. Let me explain why. So Facebook has been kicking messages out there to their advertisers, including me, talking about changes in policies with Apple devices that are going to be increasing the cost of advertising. Now, we've been talking about this for a long time, guys. In fact, people got the big Google slap back in the day. People got the Facebook slap at some point. There's always going to be reasons why these tech companies are going to be increasing the cost of the ads. What happens when you rely on nothing but paid advertisement is that you get in your groove, man. You understand that you got to pay $10 to get a client, and you've got like an average client value of $20. So literally, you know that every time you spend $10, you make $10. It's $1 in, $1 out. And you continue to ride this train that is about ready to fucking go off the tracks. Because when you only focus on paid advertisement, at some point you're going to get the slap. You got to understand that that's just the way it is. At some point, one day you're going to wake up and your cost to get a client is going to be $25 instead of $10. And every time you get a brand new client, you're going to be losing $5. Or every time you get another sale, you're going to be losing $5. Or the fact of the matter is, it may cost $10 to get a sale. And one day you're going to wake up and it's going to cost $50. Then it's going to cost you $30 out of your own pocket just to get a sale. Now, there's strategic ways to combat that. And I'm not going to go into that today. There's strategic ways that you can use funnels, you can use upsells, downsells, put people in the list, have sequences of other things that you're selling these same clients and customers. That typically brings up and raises the lifetime value of your client over time. But the truth of the matter is, most people are typically running their ads very transactional. You know, they're trying to get a client, they're trying to get a customer, whatever it is, and it costs X amount of dollars. You get so many leads, so many of them convert to paying clients or customers, and that's how it is. And one day, Facebook, literally, since we got Apple now basically telling Facebook, like, hey, look, I understand you guys are running ads, but guess what? 50% of people out here in the world are looking at your ads on our devices. So because you are on our devices, your app is on our devices, and people are looking at your ads through our devices, then we want a cut of that ad revenue. So what happens? You think Facebook is going to take the hit? Hell no. What Facebook is going to do, they're going to pass it along, that expense, to their customer, period. They're going to pass that along to their customer. They're going to say, okay, well, whatever. So Apple wants 50%. We're going to just raise the ad cost by 50%. That's just the way it works, guys. It's just the way it works. So here's what you got to understand is there's 3 types of traffic, man, that you want to focus on. You want to focus on what we just talked about, of course, paid. A lot of times, a lot of my business models, I'm out of paid traffic. Like I don't have to pay for anything at all anymore. There's a lot of my business models because I also focused on two other types of traffic. I focus on earned traffic and owned traffic. Earned traffic is that shit that you go out on your own and earn. You go write compelling Facebook ads on your personal wall. You engage people, you befriend the right people. You put to the social media strategy. Many of you guys who are members now of the Inner Circle, if you guys look through my complete organic social media strategy, you implement these things, okay? You've got to implement these things along with paid traffic, okay? You've got to be always looking for earned traffic. That's the shit that you're out there hustling. That's the shit you're out there working for. Whether that's stepping on somebody's podcast, getting out there and getting your message out into the world, bringing more followers back to you, whether that's jumping on a YouTube channel, whether that's creating your own podcast, whether that's creating your own YouTube channel, writing your own compelling content. That is all earned traffic. Creating a Facebook group, as long as they're not charging for it yet, that is all earned traffic, okay? So that's the shit you go out. That's the sweat of your brow, man. That's the shit you go out and you earn, okay? The next is owned traffic. And, many of you guys seen me basically within the last 6 months create a brand new group, drop 1,400 members inside of that group, the Marketing Savage Facebook group. And then just last week, launch the Inner Circle, sell that out, create another group, and blow that up within the last 6 months. Now, I didn't do that just by earned. I combined earned traffic. I didn't spend a dime, by the way, on paid traffic. So I combined earned traffic. I was in that group cultivating on a daily basis. I'm in here doing these podcasts every single fucking day. I'm recording them and I'm dropping them in the group. That is earned traffic. That is earning the trust of the people. People are watching these videos, listening to these podcasts and saying, man, if he's going to give me that much knowledge on this podcast or that much knowledge in these videos, then I can't imagine how much I'm going to get once I subscribe to his Inner Circle, okay? The second thing is traffic that I own. So I already had mailing lists laid out. I knew the exact people that I needed to target. I created the exact mailing list. And probably there's some of you guys on there thinking that, man, I'm glad that shit's over. I was getting bombed, man. That's the way it is, guys. Hey, man, you're listening to a marketing podcast. If you get offended by that shit, man, I don't know what to tell you. There's an unsubscribe button at the bottom, by the way. So that being said, it's the old Dan Kennedy thing. If you're not offending somebody by noon, you're not marketing hard enough. And if you want to be a marketing savage, you got to be willing to offend people. There's got to be a level where some people are going to be like, I just can't take it anymore. Stop emailing me or stop, coming at me. Stop trying to sell me stuff. Look, if you're a marketing savage, you got to understand that's just part of the game, man. We don't put emotions in that shit. We look at that stuff and we're like, damn, man, Dan Kennedy was right. Because guess what? I'm marketing hard as a motherfucker today. So there you go. Now you got own traffic, okay? So the point that I'm trying to drive home here, it's a very risky situation only to rely on paid traffic. I try not to even use it at all as much as possible. Now, there's certain scenarios, you guys know I own some service-based automotive businesses. And there's certain scenarios that I will use it because there's such a high return on it. So there's certain scenarios that I will use it. In fact, there was an ad that I ran a couple years back that's basically scored me $250,000 in 2 months. And that was fucking incredible. And that was not even counting the people that that referred us. So we were getting people from them ads and then they were coming in and then they were referring us to other people. The average job was around $8,000 a job. So, and it just went viral. It blew up. And so I will run paid traffic in certain scenarios. But if I do it, I really want to make a fuck ton of money. When I'm doing paid traffic, I don't really want to gamble with it. I probably will start running some paid traffic for the Inner Circle here in a while. I'm going to try to run it as organic as possible. I'm really going to try to double down on the earned traffic. I'm going to try to get on a shit ton more podcast. I'm getting ready to go off on a podcast tour. And I know I told you guys that about a month ago, but I've been busy as fuck. And we're about to light it up, though. We're about to light that shit up. I got a couple really good interviews coming up this week in the group, in the Marketing Savage group. I got a company, a company called Tactical Dent Tools. So occasionally you're gonna hear me mix that up because I actually have another podcast called the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. So anyhow, y'all, but you guys are on the Marketing Revolution podcast, the motherfucking Marketing Revolution podcast. Head on over to the Marketing Savage Facebook group. And if you guys haven't done it, you better jump in right now. We got a Winners Wednesday coming up tomorrow. Write your review on iTunes, y'all. And you know what, man? I don't charge anything for this podcast, but just like Andy Frisella says, there's a price to pay, man. You need to write me a review. If you love this podcast, write a review and refer a friend. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.